Hello everybody, my name is Professor Pixel, here on Mad Men with a Box, with my typical co-host, Okay. Oh, I'm alone. Isn't that nice? But, yes, I'm here with you today to talk about Doctor Who, Redacted. It is a new audio drama podcast from BBC Sounds. And while it's not Big Finish, which typically handles Doctor Who audio dramas, it's definitely interesting. And when I heard about it, I was a little skeptical, but the first episode has come out, and this is my official review on it. Before we get into any spoilers, I'm going to go ahead and say the show has a very interesting premise. The best thing about it is that the episode's only 20 minutes long. It's very easy to digest, and sometimes the writing in the episode can verge on a little bit of cringe-worthiness, but it's not overwhelming. And I will say that it's definitely a solid start. And I don't know if our review for Sea Devils will be out by the time this is out, but let me go ahead and say, if you watched Legend of the Sea Devils, this came out at the same time. This was far, far better. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give you the official warning. If you do not want any spoilers, then I suggest you go ahead and click off the video. Maybe come back after, because I'm going to be talking about some of the things that happened during the episode and what I think it could mean going down the line. Now, you've been given a fair warning. If you're still here and you haven't listened to it yet, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But let's get into it. The show is about three friends. They host a podcast together called The Blue Box Files. Three friends hosting a podcast talking about the Doctor? Nah, it'll never work. But Blue Box Files, it's a cool name. It's a snowman man with a box, but it's a cool name. But the show is hosted, like I said, by Cleo, Abby, and Shauna. And together they basically go through a place called the Blue Box Forums, where it's a bunch of people guessing what it could be, aliens and the like. And the topic of today's episode is actually based off of one of my favorites, Partners in Crime. They're talking about adipose industries. And something weird happens during it. A link is clicked, and suddenly the forums seem to just shut down. It freaks out on them. And so they go ahead and they close up shop, and they say, okay, well, we can work that out later. They have an interview set up, and they ask Cleo to conduct it. And Cleo Proctor, I'm pretty sure she's our main character throughout this series. She is a little hesitant because she doesn't really want to be bothered with that. She's there to have fun. But she ultimately agrees, and she goes down. Well, during her trip to where they're supposed to meet, Penny Carter, who is actually a character from that episode, she gets a call. She doesn't answer it at first because she doesn't recognize the number, but it was enough for the person to leave a voicemail. We get to hear the call perfectly. It's the Doctor. And she says that Cleo Proctor has apparently been tracking her movements on Earth, and now the Doctor's tracking Cleo. And she goes on to say that something's wrong, and it seems that the Doctor's friends are all in danger, and Cleo Proctor maybe too. Needs to access her data urgently, whatever that means. At first, when I heard the call, I thought the Doctor sounds like she's threatening her a little bit. You've been tracking me, now I'm tracking you. But ultimately, it seems that she's trying to protect her, which the doctor should. I'm going to go ahead and give a... If I had a hat, I'd take it off for Jodie Whittaker right here, because solid piece of acting for only, 30 seconds. But Cleo doesn't get that call, because she checks her voicemail after not believing that somebody would leave a voicemail, and listens in, and it's all static. It's garbage. Can't understand a single word, and just tosses it aside. On to the most interesting part of this. It's the actual interview with Penny Carter. And I believe that this is a different actress doing the voice of Penny Carter rather than just the presence. And ultimately, Penny Carter, reporter for The Observer, says that nobody will believe the things that she saw that day. She saw the living blobs of fat, the adipose. And she says she's seen it with her own eyes. She knows exactly what it is. She knows that it's alien. She saw everything. But nobody believes her because, like the Earth, we forget everything important. However, Penny Carter has heard of the doctor. She heard his friend call him that. And Cleo's like, okay, well, if you know about this doctor, then go ahead and tell me about him. Anything, any kind of details at all. Penny Carter can't. Because Penny says that she knows he was there, but every time she tries to remember what he looks like, it's all just a black blur. She can't recognize anything. She doesn't know any features. It's all blank. It's like he's been erased. Well, from there, interview's over. We get a couple calls with like Abby and Shauna. Abby has a boyfriend apparently, and Shauna isn't a fan of him. But the most interesting thing here is at the end, while we see Abby, she's a carer. She cares for her mom at home full time. She goes home and she notices a little envelope. And on it, there's a note, and it's from the doctor. It says that she says she'd be in touch, but she didn't want to get too close, that she may be contagious. And quickly, she goes to call Cleo, because there were reports earlier in the day of the doctor, Ryan and Graham. They'd gone missing, apparently. But she quickly wants to get on top of it. She calls Cleo, says how she has something important to talk about, and forgets. It just wipes away from her mind. The subject of the call is just nothing. Cleo's like, "Are you drunk?" And Abby's starting to freak out a little bit because she knew she called for something important, but she can't remember. So she'll call back later. And that seems to be the end. Cleo hangs up, and that's when she gets the last call of the evening. She asks who it is, actually answering this time. And it's a woman saying that she knows who Cleo is, but Cleo doesn't know her. Introduces herself as Ronnie Chandra? I think it's Chandra. And saying how she has important information to give. That she believes it's all connected to the doctor, and that the doctor might be killing them. And, I mean, that's the end of the episode. There's nothing really more to go into. It definitely sets up an interesting premise. They actually say the thing redacted earlier in the episode, but it's a very solid start. Personally, when I watch something, I care very little about the personal lives of the characters. I'm solely there for the plot, the story. But we get an insight of who they are. They feel fully fleshed out, which is something we haven't seen in almost 3 seasons of Doctor Who. But here, it's fully there. And I am absolutely interested in where this could go. If the Doctor somehow is being erased from the people's minds on Earth, who's doing it? Who's behind it? Will we get insight on that? I don't know. But with 10 episodes, they should be able to tell a full story easily. And I look forward to getting into the next one. But that is about all there is to it. I would like to thank you for sticking through my solo review of this. There's a lot of information that's going to be coming out. I know that the director behind it is very proud of it. And she has a right to be, because when you make something as good as this and 20 minutes, people need to be watching this, or, well, listening to it. You should definitely check this out. If you don't, you are missing out. And, well, that's just sad, isn't it? Why you gotta be so sad? I'm hoping moving forward, we get to see more of the Doctor. I know that probably she won't be in it until most likely the last episode. There might be a few more messages, but it'll mostly be notes or texts, things like that. Oh, look. Hi, fam. But it sets itself up very easily. And I think if people aren't really hooked by the end, I don't know what to tell you. I was. That's all that matters here. It's my channel. It's what I do. However, that's the end. There's not much more to say. I want to thank you so much for checking out Madman with the Box. Make sure to watch the other things on the channel. We have a lot of good times here. And if you haven't seen any of the reviews from Chris on the Big Finish audios that are coming out, I joined him for one, talking about the Doctor of War. Oh, that's good. That was really good. And if you just typically like discussions of Doctor Who, we're the channel for you. We'll have more coming to you real soon, so make sure you stick around. Geronimo, Alonzi, all that jazz. Bye-bye.